tensions in the Middle East have exploded once again. In the dead of night, Israel launched a massive airstrike campaign on Iranian nuclear and military targets, the largest operation in years. In response, Iran fired a wave of ballistic missiles and explosive drones at Israeli cities, triggering sirens, destruction, and panic. Are we witnessing the first steps toward a full-scale regional war? What does this mean for global security, oil markets, and the balance of power in the Middle East? In this video, we break down what happened, why it matters, and what might come next. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe for real-time geopolitical updates. Tensions between Israel and Iran reached a critical new level during the night of June 13th to 14th, 2025, following a series of massive retaliatory strikes between the two longtime regional enemies. In an unprecedented aerial offensive, the Israeli military launched a wide-scale attack on several strategic sites across Iran, including sensitive nuclear facilities such as Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan, as well as command centers linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The operation, described by Tel Aviv as a strategic response, reportedly targeted more than 150 infrastructures connected to Iran's nuclear and ballistic programs. According to Iranian sources, the Israeli strikes killed at least 78 people, including several nuclear engineers, and injured over 300. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that his country would strike all sites and targets of the Ayatollah's regime, without exception, claiming the offensive was a preventive measure to stop Tehran from reaching nuclear weapons capability. In immediate retaliation, Iran launched a large-scale counteroffensive, unleashing a barrage of ballistic missiles and explosive drones aimed at Israel. Over 150 missiles and more than 100 drones were fired on the evening of June 13th, targeting major Israeli cities such as Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Rishon LeZion, and Ramat Gan. Multiple explosions were heard during the night, causing panic, blackouts, and property damage. Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system, reinforced by U.S. anti-missile batteries deployed in the Negev desert, intercepted the majority of incoming projectiles, but some still landed, killing at least 3 civilians and injuring dozens more. This Iranian strike, the largest since the Gulf War, was described by Tehran as a proportional response to Israeli aggression, and came with a warning. The next wave will be far more devastating if the attacks from Israel continue. The region is now on edge. Several Gulf capitals have suspended air traffic, the United States has reinforced its naval presence in the Strait of Hormuz, and voices from the European Union and the United Nations are calling urgently for de-escalation. The risk of a full-blown regional conflict is rising, especially as Lebanon's Hezbollah, a close ally of Iran, has expressed full support for Tehran, though it has not yet opened another front. The threat of a prolonged war involving multiple actors, Israel, Iran, Hezbollah, Shiite militias in Iraq, and possibly the Houthis in Yemen, is becoming increasingly real. On top of this is the nuclear dimension. Several Western analysts suggest Israel now seeks not only to destroy infrastructure, but to dismantle Iran's strategic expertise. Meanwhile, Iran has threatened to break all cooperation with the IAEA and to fast-track its nuclear weapons program. It has also hinted at the possibility of blocking the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for 20% of the world's oil trade. Disarmament negotiations between Iran and the U.S. in Oman have now been indefinitely suspended. The Middle East thus finds itself on the brink of a major confrontation in a climate of tension not seen since the 1980s. The rhetoric from both sides leaves little room for diplomacy. While civilians in both countries live in fear of further strikes, world powers scramble behind the scenes, though their influence so far remains limited in the face of an escalating cycle of retaliation.